Hey, what's up guys? Welcome to the video. I want to walk you through this install that we did a few days ago, and it was a very interesting install. I came here at night. This lady called us and she said that her heater wasn't working. So I showed up and I checked out this condenser, and sure enough, we had a bad compressor. The compressor was trying to turn on, capacitor was good, 240 volts were there, but I was getting nothing but humming. After writing down an invoice and letting the customer know all her options, she decided to replace the entire system. So I hopped up in the attic just to go and get some measurements and see what we needed to do. And I found out a lot of issues here. One thing that I found that was not so good was the ductwork was in bad condition. The insulation was falling off on some of these ducts. And unfortunately, I saw some rodents up here, and I think those guys were to blame. The other thing that I really didn't like is the way that this air handler is installed. It's underneath those trusses, and there's very little space on the other side. I can't imagine doing an evaporator coil change out. Even a blower motor, I think, would be a pain in the butt to do with this very little space. After my attic inspection, I decided that I was going to be the hero of the story, and I don't want any more technicians to suffer in this attic and having to struggle, to maintain this unit, repair it, you name it. So I came up with an idea, and I'm going to let this customer know that we can put the unit on the roof, and replacing the ductwork would be extremely beneficial as well. Now, I know a homeowner is going to watch this video and is going to want their furnace or their heat pump that's in the attic to be moved to the roof. And before you do that and you call your air conditioning guy, you need to look into your local rules and regulations, because this can't be done with every unit. The city has to give you the okay, and inspector has to come out. It's a big old process, so make sure that you check with your contractor first before you start calling and saying that the YouTube guy did it, so I want it done too. The best thing to do is to check with your HVAC professional, and they'll let you know whether it can be done or not. I really like this idea because I think that a package unit is easier to service, it's easier to get to. I would 10 times change a compressor on a package unit than having to change an evaporator coil in the attic. And some of you might disagree, but it's probably what I'm used to doing. In my area, package units are everywhere. Every other neighborhood with about 200-300 houses will have all package units on the roof. So I see them on a daily basis. I'm just used to it. But let me know in the comment sections what you think about that. This customer too, she liked the idea of not having the air handler in the attic and having no condenser in her backyard. So we started the project day one. We went in the attic and we started ripping out all the old flexes, all the old connections in there. And whenever we do this, we always make a hole where we're going to put our curb, and we go in through there, in and out. It makes it a lot easier to go in through there than to go in through the attic access. For all my sheet metal installers and my metal enthusiasts, I want to apologize to you. I know I let you down with ductboard and flex. But I promise I try to do a good job and make it look good and make it right. And it's crazy. If you do it right, you will actually have very good airflow with ductboard and flex. If you have watched any of my videos, you probably know by now that I am not the best duct guy. My thing is going to be service. That's what I know how to do the best. And that is the beauty of this trade, is that there is so much things that you can learn. We have service, there is install. You can be a retro guy. You can do air purification, duct cleaning. There is so much opportunity and there is so much learning. It never gets boring, and it's never the same thing over and over. And if you're a young guy and you're thinking of doing something new, of getting in the HVAC field, I highly recommend it. I've been at it for 9 years and I'm one of the weird kind that I love this trade, and I always say that I'm never going to leave it. It's what I'm going to do and probably take it to the grave. It's not easy work. Sometimes it's very challenging. Sometimes it's not fun. But this trade is very rewarding. Good HVAC technicians, good HVAC installers are very, very high in demand, especially if you are in a hot climate like myself. And you can make a ton of money. One day you can open up your own business. You can go work for a big corporation. You can work for a union and make a ton of money. The possibilities are endless. Every single year there is less and less people interested in the HVAC field. And one of the reasons is that the schools are pushing college left and right. They're telling the students to go to college and to get their bachelor's degree and their doctor's degree. And I have friends that, they'll poke jokes at me because I didn't go to college. I just finished high school and went to trade school. And, they'll say like, oh, when are you going back to school? And my answer is never. Some of these guys don't know that I make over $100K a year and that I'm debt free. I'm not saying that to brag or anything, but just to give you perspective. I'm barely 28 and I already make over $100K. So I don't mind, people poking fun at me, people, making comments or whatever, or thinking that I'm a bum because I do this. That's completely fine with me. Every year I'm making more, and that's just how it is in the HVAC field. So if you're interested, definitely look into it. Okay, let's get back to this install, and I'm almost done here with the ductwork. I'll show you the final product. Well, almost the final product, but here it is. We have the duct system all sealed up, all the duct runs, and then we have some going over there to the master bedroom. We have a 16-inch there going to another box, and a few other takeoffs over there. Here is what the top looks like. We have the 18-inch flexes for the supply and the return for a 3.5 ton package train unit that we're going to install. And here I want you to look at the placement of the nails that I've used, the screws. I always screw down the curve to the studs. Some guys don't, and I'm a coward, honestly, when it comes to doing package units. I always put screws where the studs are. And then I put like 5 or 6 more on the sides, 5 or 6 on the top. I put a bunch of screws on that curve because, honestly, I'm not going to have one of these units fall down. I have seen package units fall down because they were not strapped properly quite a few times. So that's just never going to happen to me. I've made up my mind. And look, the weather's getting windy and it's just messing with my mind. So I am going to put a ton of screws on this unit so it will not come down. Always add one of these surge protectors. It's just going to cover you if there's ever some kind of electrical problem. A while back, somebody in the comment sections had asked me to do a surge protector install video. So this one's for you, bro. It's very simple, ground to the ground, that green wire. If you're dealing with 240 appliances, you want to put those 2 black wires on the line side, and then you want to cap off that white wire. If you're dealing with like an air handler or a furnace, you want to use the white wire and then 1 black wire, and then you cap off the other black wire. But there's instructions inside. It's very simple. I encourage you to try it and to actually use them. This device will protect your AC in the case of a brownout or an electrical surge. Your customer will be happy, that they don't have to replace a compressor or another expensive electrical component. We are also installing a bar type filter grill to help with airflow. Now guys, I want you to look at this picture and tell me what is wrong on a very windy day. So get ready. The next picture that I'm going to show you is wild, and it almost ruined my day, but it is what it is. Are you ready? Okay, here it goes. The wind picked up that piece of ductboard. It elevated my Klein Tools bag with all of my stuff. and it threw it down inside the supply duct. This was like 5 feet down, guys. Honestly, this almost ruined my day. I was super pissed off that this happened. But it goes to show that sometimes things go good and sometimes things go bad, and you just have to roll with the punches. Now I look back and it's super funny. I laugh and whatever, it is what it is. Luckily, I was able to recover my bag and all my tools, and I had to do a few repairs, but nothing major, and we were able to keep going with the install. Here we have the unit set on the curb. My friend here, he's patching the sides, that way if it rains, no water gets in there. And let me show you some of those straps that I was talking about. I put one on every side of the unit, and I also bolt down the unit to the actual curb. As you can see right there, that screw. I go overboard with bolting down the unit because, like I said earlier, we want that unit to be steady and to be solid and to never move, no matter how strong the winds may be. We always put a new breaker just to make sure everything is new, and that wire is actually brand new too. I didn't record it because it was a pain in the butt to run and it took me forever to do it. But here I'm just doing the final touch-ups, putting the unit back together, and I'm ready to show you guys the final product pretty soon here. Caulking that little gap right there. This is silicone with caulking. It's like a mix of both, but that's a tiny little gap. That's why I don't mind putting it in here. Let's leave things better than we found them, so let's blow the roof, and here's the final product. Constructive criticism is welcomed, guys. It makes me a better technician and a better installer, and it only benefits the customer. If you made it this far, comment what you want for Christmas, and I got you this year. See you on the next one, guys. Bye.